Welcome back. It's exactly 8:40 a.m. News and views moving along. Our next guest is Fazlin Oosthuizen. She is the chairperson of Gauteng province of the National CED Congress, and she's here to talk to us about something pretty important. I think we need to sit up and take a listen to what exactly is going down in the Western Cape. We are going to be talking about the Provincial Powers Bill. It's a draft bill, and just to give an intro to it, and then we'll allow Fazlin to take over. This draft bill proposes to promote the exercise of provincial powers by the Western Cape, to establish the Western Cape Provincial Powers Committee, to require the Western Cape government to report to the Western Cape Provincial Parliament on the assertion and assumption of provincial powers, to provide for the introduction of provincial and national legislation to assert the Western Cape's provincial powers, and to provide for matters connected therewith. Now, that's a lot of gobbly goo for a lot of us. It goes over our heads. How and why is this important? What exactly is that introduction saying to us? Assalamu alaikum, welcome.
Shukran. Um, this is a very important bill because what it is attempting to do is establish a basis for more autonomy of the Western Cape over certain issues, and they're asking for more autonomy in certain sectors, which are policing, public transport, energy, trade, and harbors. So those are really, really important parts. And what this bill does is it paves the way for Cape Exit, which is something that we've been talking about for a long time. And a lot of people are thinking that this is something possibly from our imaginations, but here we have an actual bill brought to you by the DA, which is exactly attempting to create a state of their own later down the line.
Okay, very much like Orania, which has been in existence in the Free State for a very long time. And yes, you are right. Lots of people have been talking about, mainly colored people from the Western Cape, have been raising the alarm, and it seems to be falling on deaf ears. Talk to us in more detail, in depth about the situation. Is there anything at all that civil society can do, apart from government, civil society can do to raise the flag and start making enough noises so that government can sit up and and take note?
Look, it is still in the planning stages, and so nothing has been cast in stone. It is a bill that is in talks, right? But they say what is alarming is that public participation was held in January and February of 2024. Yet, as far as I know, the public are totally unaware of the Western Cape Provincial Powers Bill, and it's such an important bill. So we need to spread the message among our people all throughout South Africa, because as much as this is a Western Cape Provincial Powers Bill, it affects us all in every single province. Just say, for example, they do push this through legislature, and again, like with the Bella Bill, we find that we are 5 steps behind. What will that mean for us? We may have to actually seek passports in order to enter Cape Town to visit our own parents, our own brothers and sisters, for example. So I think that we just need to spread the message that it is a very, very real thing happening in the Western Cape, and that, Cape Town being a homeland for the Jews, not just a concept that Phil Craig, who I feel was the scapegoat in this, brought to us, because this bill is proudly brought to us by the DA. So I think we just need
Okay,
to spread the word.
what is the Phil Craig story? Give us a bit of background information on that.
So Phil Craig was the founder of the Cape Exit political party. And so everybody has been lambasting him. And, he was literally the person that people put up a lot of things against him in order to get him deported and to get him out of South Africa, because they say that an English man coming into South Africa with his colonial ideologies will not work. But here what we can see is that our own Democratic Alliance is bringing this bill to the legislature of South Africa for actual consideration, you know. So it's more real than just Paul Craig. And because people were thinking that he was a complete right-wing movement, you know, and in isolation. Meanwhile, this is actually happening in legislature today.
I spoke to someone from the Coloured Congress a little while ago. He too alluded to the tale of two cities in the Western Cape. How real is it, and how awake are the coloured and black people in the Western Cape? And what do you believe can be done to prevent this bill remaining in draft form, or just to be put into file 13 and forgotten about? Because if our people continue to be fast asleep, before we know it, the bill will have been passed.
It's very real, Auntie Julie, very, very real. We can already see other laws that have been passed bringing foreign interest into the Western Cape on a huge, huge scale, where our people, black and brown, are sitting without jobs, but more especially in the Western Cape, with colored people being the majority. A lot of black people are being imported into the Western Cape in order to make sure that we, as the colored people, as the colored majority, remain on the back foot. And so we need to build consciousness. This is a very important interview that we are having, so that people's consciousnesses can shift. It is very important for people to realize that this is not a figment of my imagination. This is not a figment of the NCC's imagination. This is the reality for us. And so people are starting to get more and more aware of our very, very obvious marginalization. But I don't know what it will take for us to really join hands and make a difference, because we all have to just realize what is happening and stand strong against it. So if we all refuse it publicly, then I think we can at least be on our way to letting this thing disappear. I hope so.
Okay. How do we, is there a plan in place? Is there some sort of a signatures form, something going around the whole country, so that if you put your name down and sign it, this draft bill will not see the light of day? Is this at provincial level, where civil society cannot and will not be able to get involved? So we need some guidance from you so that we can continue making the noises around this.
Look, the thing is that I believe that nothing is set in stone until it's set in stone. And even still, if we look at what is happening with the Bella Bill, which was signed in, right, by the president, people are still opposing it. And so for as long as people oppose something that is supposedly brought into law, then they cannot just do it. When they say public participation has taken place, I'm saying I don't know anything about it. So I'm saying we need to question, and we need to apply for a new public participation hearing. And there we make sure that our people do come, because the most important thing is that people need to show up at these meetings that will be hosted. Unfortunately, for right now, we were so on the back foot with this one. And before it gets sneakily put in, we need to make a noise. So this is our first noise that I'm making here today. And we will definitely consider doing a petition process or a form that is online that everybody can then send. And I hope that whatever new developments come, I can contact you so that we can get it out there. Our people just need to
Absolutely.
know more than anything else.
Absolutely. We're going to have to wrap up in a few minutes, but just talk to us about the pros, if there are any, and the cons to this draft bill. Let's assume it does get passed. What are the repercussions going to be on the entire Western Cape? And what would be the wins for the DA? Because you spoke about the harbours and you spoke about other infrastructure. Let's talk about that reality. What's it going to look like? Is there going to be so much of power in the hands of the DA? Is it also going to be a situation of maybe tenderpreneurs then springing up in the Western Cape by the white majority or minority, whichever way you look at it?
The important part that they want to control is everything that truly affects us. So when we look at policing, already we can see the DA police state occurring. It is really, really beginning. Every time we do anything as a colored people, the police are out in force and they are serving the DA and their point of view, you know. When we look at harbors, we already know that normal fishermen cannot fish to sustain their lives. They need so many permits. So the Khoisan people of the Cape no longer can live the way they usually used to live by selling and sustaining themselves off the ocean, you know. Then trade, they want to police that as well and control that as well. And we also spoke, like when we talk of public transport, I have no idea what they are attempting there. But energy, we know very well that they are selling electricity at an increased rate to our very, very, very poor people in the Western Cape. So it's just ways and means of how they can exert their power over the majority, but you know, the underprivileged people in the Western Cape.
Okay, I'm going to wrap up. Any other issues that you want us to be aware of regarding this draft bill? And I'm hoping that a petition is going to come out sooner rather than later so that we can start signing and putting a stop to this. If that petition doesn't go ahead and if other smaller parties don't add or lend their weight and voice to the CED Congress, what do you suppose is going to happen?
It's a very scary situation, and this is the whole reason why I am so personally involved as well, you know. I have family there. I can already see what is happening. My brother lives in Kenwyn. His the property value increased from 1.8 to 3.8 million in 1 year, making the rates and taxes so hard to achieve, so hard to pay. And eventually what is going to happen is our people are going to be pushed out of those areas into the margins, you know, and slowly, slowly, we're going to be pushed out completely where they can exert their power over us. We need to rise, we need to stand up, we need to do it now.
And that's where we're going to leave it. I have no doubt in my mind we're going to be having lots of follow-up talks with you regarding this situation. When is this bill or the draft bill going to be heard or presented?
I'm not 100% sure, but it is very, very soon. I will go back. I will make sure I have all that detail for you. I will also put it in the petition so that everybody has a clear understanding of the timelines of this bill.
Okay, just do your homework, get all of those important pieces of information, and then we can do a quick recap as soon as you have all of the relevant pieces of information, and we can put it out there into the public space. But thank you indeed, and please stay alert. We need people like you on the ground to make sure that things aren't passed by us, even though we believe we have our eyes wide open. So we will be looking forward to chatting with you again. Take care. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Walaikum salam.
That was Fazlin Oosthuizen, the National Coloured Congress chairperson in the Gauteng province. The time is 8:54. We will be going for another ad break before we are joined by Dr. Haroon Tayob.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help. The people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Sha'alan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salam Media on social media pages for more on this tour and